Most people speak English every day, but if you ask them why a sentence is correct, they get stuck. That's exactly what we're fixing in this video. A lot of people tend to focus on fading away their accents, but people won't judge you on your accents. However, they will judge you on bad grammar. Hello everyone! Welcome to this video where we will be learning about English sentences and how they are structured. We will continue learning about grammar in future videos. If you have specific topics you want covered, please drop your ideas below. Let's begin. English sentences are typically structured around three key elements: the subject, the verb, and the object. The subject is the person, place, or thing performing the action. The verb is the action itself, and the object is the person, place, or thing receiving the action. Understanding these forms is key to proper English sentence construction. Think of this as your formula. Most people already use these naturally, but don't actually think about them. That's why it can be hard to explain why something sounds wrong. So in this beginner guide, we're going to break it down clearly. Let's begin with subjects. The subject is the person, place, or thing that performs the action. In simple terms, the subject answers the question, who is doing something, or what is doing something. Subjects can be singular, plural, or a mixture. There are three types of subject: simple subjects, complete subjects, and compound subjects. Let's take a look at some examples in the next slide. For example, in the sentence, "The boy runs," the subject is the boy. For a quick check, in the sentence, "My mom and I are going grocery shopping," what is the subject? Pause the video for a few seconds and try it out. The subject is the mom and I. Next up are verbs. A verb tells us the action or the state of being. Examples include words like run, eat, write, or even is and are. Now, there are two important types of verbs: main verbs and helping, also known as auxiliary verbs. The main verbs carry the main meaning of the sentence. It tells us what is actually happening. The helping verbs don't carry the main meaning, but they help us understand time, tense, or structure. Main verbs express the core action or state, while auxiliary verbs help show tense, mood, voice, or aspect. This chart provides examples of both main and auxiliary verbs and how they function in sentences. Notice how the word is used as a main verb as well as a helping verb. Helping verbs are not standalone. What I mean by that is that there has to be a main verb. Helping verbs are dependent on main verbs. A critical rule in English is subject-verb agreement. The verb must always match the subject. If the subject is singular, the verb is singular. If the subject is plural, the verb is plural. The next slide will give us more information on this topic. This chart illustrates the difference between singular and plural subjects and their corresponding verbs. Remember, the verb must agree with its subject in number. Now, here's a very important concept that confuses a lot of learners. When the subject is he, she, or it, we usually add an S to the verb. So we say, he runs, she eats, it works. But here's the key idea. Just because a verb has an S does not mean it is plural. In fact, it's the opposite. The S form is actually used for singular subjects, like he, she, and it. So, he runs is singular, they run is plural. A simple way to remember this is he, she, it, add S. Everything else, base form. Plurality is dependent on subjects, not verbs. So once again, just remember that just because a verb or verbs have an S does not mean it is plural. Now, let's talk about the object. The object is the person, place, or thing that receives the action in a sentence. For example, the boy kicked the ball. The ball is the object because it receives the action. There are two types of objects: direct objects, which receive the action directly, and indirect objects, which receive the result of the action. For now, just focus on identifying what receives the action in a sentence. Objects can be nouns, pronouns, or noun phrases. This chart provides examples of different types of objects, including the object of a preposition, and shows how they function in various sentences. Note, similar to how subjects can be plural, objects can also be plural. There can be multiple people or things that can receive the action. To wrap up, let's quickly review by identifying the subject-verb-object, or SVO, structure in these examples. For each sentence, identify the subject, verb, and objects. Some sentences might have multiple of each, so read carefully. The boy kicked the ball. The subject is the boy. The verb is kicked. The object is the ball. The manager called the employees and the clients. The subject is the manager. The verb is called. The objects are the employees and the clients. We watched a movie and ate popcorn. The subject is we. The verbs are watched and ate. The objects are a movie and popcorn. The teacher and the students discussed the assignment and the exam. The subjects are the teacher and the students. The verb is discussed. The objects are the assignment and the exam. The chef cooked rice and chicken. The subject is the chef. The verb is cooked. The objects are rice and chicken. Thank you for watching this video. Remember this quote: "We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated." Keep learning. Also, please drop your comments on what topics you all want me to cover in future videos. See you later for now.